Nobody gets you ready for Utah football more than the KSL Sports Zone.
Ready?
Kyle Whittingham and the Utes hit the road to Waco for a showdown against Baylor. Your home for the best coverage of Utah football is right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. This is Hans Olsen and Scotty G, presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hans Olsen, Scott Gerard, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. All right, it's that time of the week. We get a chat with one of the greats, Ian Fitzsimmons. ESPN. Ian, how you doing, man?
Hello, Ian.
I cried like a baby, and I mean like a baby. The wave, Scotty, you drilled it, man, at Kinnick. And the funny part was, and boys, always good to be with you guys every single week. Hey, look, Red Raiders are good. BYU, you're still in it. Don't cry like I did on Saturday afternoon in frigid weather, and it was awful. And Scotty, you called it, man. My producer John Madan. For people who don't know what we're talking about, so the wave, I've never seen it in person, where the entire stadium at Kinnick at the University of Iowa waves to the Pediatric Cancer Hospital. And it started in 2017. And when I say, holy hell, that is the best tradition in all of sports, not just college football, all of sports. It doesn't get any better. I mean, I'm watching Dan Lanning and the Oregon Ducks also turn and wave, right, to these kids. And my producer, John Madani's going, "Are you good?" I'm like, "I'm good." He goes, "Are you good?" I'm like, "No, John, I'm good. I can do this. I got it. All right, paint the picture from the field. You're good." Now, knowing my daughter, Rowan, was a patient at Texas Scottish Rite Hospital for children from the age of 3 to 17. He goes, "Fitz, you're good." I went, "I got it." And I turn around, and I see the entire stadium waving to these kids, and I'm like, I ain't good.
I
might
need a minute.
500 stations plus Sirius XM across our great country, I was a puddle. I mean, I couldn't even get a word out. So, Scotty, you drilled it. It was amazing, and that to me was by far, bar none, the greatest experience I have ever had as a broadcaster. I've done over, now 12, this will be my 13th national championship game in college football. NFL playoff games. I was on the field in 1999, guys, at Fenway Park with the 50 greatest to play the game. Huh. Remember that scene with Ken Griffey Jr. and George Brett, and Teddy Ballgame, going down the list and, throwing out the first pitch to Pudge, right, and he fires a strike. I mean, those are all things that I've done. And that wave, folks, was by far, bar none, the most remarkable, impressionable, memorable things that I've ever done in my broadcasting career. I'll never forget it as long as I live.
Yeah, if you get a chance to go to Iowa, folks, it is worth it. And
just for that,
as much as I've talked about it, as much as Ian's talking about it, we're both underselling it on how emotional
100%.
it is. Yeah.
And Scotty, you warned me, man, Hans, and so did you. You guys warned me, and I'm like, come on, man, I got this. No, I didn't have it. I was far from having it. When I say a puddle of tears, and I couldn't the moment I said my daughter's name, I'm like, that's it, I'm done. And Mark Kestecher, the great play-by-play voice, and NBA fans out there with the Utah Jazz, Kesty. I mean, his golden pipes. He goes, "Ian, the moment you invoked your daughter's name, I knew you were done."
Well, I'm glad you had a good experience, Ian. That's amazing.
Oh, amazing. Amazing.
And you had a hell of a game, too. Oregon found a way to get it done.
You know what? And that's what's crazy, guys, is that if people were saying, "Oh, it was an ugly game," no. That to me, and Hans, you've had your hand down the dirt. That to me was a beautiful game. It was 35 degrees. Can we not, by the way, football gods, can we not just drop it 3 more degrees and let it snow instead of, that freezing rain?
That's the worst.
10 to 15 mile an hour winds. It doesn't get, as a player, broadcaster, coach, I don't give a, photog, it is awful. But to me, that was a beautiful football game because those two teams knocked the ever-loving hell out of each other. And Oregon, without Sadiq, arguably the best tight end in college football, without DeCarrion Moore, arguably the best freshman wide receiver and their leading receiver in college football, Gary Bryant goes out in the first quarter. They don't have Jackson when their leading tackler is a linebacker. They don't have Harkey, their right tackle, and they still find a way in those conditions to come away with a win. Man, Oregon impressed the ever-loving hell out of me. That was a heck of a football game. And then, if you think it was ugly, you just don't appreciate ball because 18-16 and the way those two teams knocked the ever-loving hell out of each other, hell yeah. Sign me up for that every week.
All right, Ian, I want you to climb into the heads of the CFP. AP drops their poll. BYU number 12, Utah number 15. Texas Tech finds themselves at 8. Get into the CFP's mind. How do they rank these three Big 12 teams after what happened this weekend?
Well, first of all, let me start with BYU and talking to Joey McGuire, head coach of Texas Tech, just last night on ESPN Radio. Joey was beyond over-the-top complimentary of BYU, saying that the score didn't really dictate how close that game was. So that's number one. You watch to me tonight, it's not about 1, 2, 3, or 4. It's about 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, those 5 slots. And if you're a BYU fan, if you're a Utah fan, you are this week massive, and I do mean massive, Alabama fans because you want Oklahoma gone with a third loss. You are also huge Pittsburgh fans over Notre Dame. Why? Notre Dame, get them out of there with a third loss. You are now fans of other teams. And when it comes to the committee, I am fascinated, Hans, to see how they do handle those last 5 spots. It's, I think BYU belongs. I think Utah is right there in belonging. But Texas Tech, folks, is legit. I mean, from the edges led by Bailey to when Baron Morton's healthy, man, they will get after your ass. So that's a heck of a football team. But for me, I don't think the top 4 change, and it really doesn't matter even if they did because they're getting the bye and you're at home. To me, everything is about 10 through 15. And right now, I'd still have BYU in. I'd have Utah still on the outside looking in, and that's why Utes fans, and it pains me to say it because you all know how much I feel about and what I feel about Kyle Whittingham and Morgan Scalley and that entire staff. That is this is one where I promise you are huge Oklahoma fans and you are rooting against Notre Dame.
Ian Fitzsimmons joining us right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. So you got Baylor and TCU, the two opponents for Utah and BYU this week. What do you see out of those two teams, and what can Utes and Cougars fans expect this weekend?
I'm still stunned. I had Baylor in week 2. Now, obviously, teams change, but I'm still amazed at how Dave Aranda doesn't have them playing better defense. I mean, he is a brilliant defensive mind. For people who may not remember, he was a defensive coordinator. Well, I mean, heck, he was out there at Utah State with you guys, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you know him well, But you go back to, he was the architect of that LSU defense, in 2019 when they went undefeated and beat, what was it? And I'm going off the top of my head here. I think it was 9 top 25 teams that year and going undefeated with Joe Burrow. Well, that defense, Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson and Clyde Edwards-Helaire, they overshadowed that defense that Dave Aranda orchestrated. And I'm very surprised that this Baylor team is not better defensively. TCU with Sonny Dykes, man, they'll get after you too. It's not a gimme, but I did love seeing that BYU is a 4.5-point favorite. And I don't know if there's a number out right now on Utah-Baylor. I haven't seen it. I know they were waiting for, I guess it was a couple injuries with Baylor. And I don't know if that number has posted yet. I may have missed it yesterday. But, when Utah coming down to Baylor this time of year, at least it's not like it was, was it 2 years ago when they came down and it was like 130 on the field. The conditions will be a hell of a lot better. But to me, the bigger challenge, and I like Utah over Baylor. The challenge is BYU at TCU. That is a very underrated, underappreciated TCU team. And Hans, I'm pretty sure you probably already watched some film on them. Mm-hmm. They'll get after you, man, and they are legit. Sonny Dykes can coach them up. So, but having them be coming off Texas Tech and having to come back down here, is that game? No, is that game at BYU?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so you're home. Oh, that's so much better. So you're not having to come back. That's one where I can't emphasize how big that is, and that goes to part why BYU is a 4.5-point favorite. But like Sonny Dykes' squad, they'll get after you, and they are very, very underrated.
I'm wondering, Ian, just with TCU's loss last weekend and kind of taking them out of the conference championship race, does that demotivate them? Does that make them softer, or does that tick them off and make them more dangerous?
I'm going to go with the latter. Just knowing Coach Dykes as long as I have, he's going to have his guys ready to go. They just because you're pretty much eliminated from the Big 12 championship. Which, by the way, how great is this stretch run going to be? I mean, come on, guys.
Oh yeah,
as good as it gets.
I mean, let's go, man. I mean,
who rises and who falls?
Heads, you got red, you got blue. I mean, come on, man. It's just going to be absolutely awesome. But I can promise you this: any Sonny Dykes head coached football team is going to bring everything they've got. So just because they're eliminated doesn't mean that they aren't going to try and play spoiler. And they still have, I mean, I know the bowl games for a lot of people are not what they used to be, but again, you're also looking at film don't lie. And these guys are always wanting to put good film out there. And if you don't think Sonny Dykes is not drilling that into his team's head, film does not lie. Meaning, hey, boys, if one of you is thinking about hitting the portal, film don't lie. NFL, film don't lie. And, oh, by the way, you don't want to embarrass mama and daddy on the field because film don't lie. So bring everything you got and some passion behind your pads. And I can promise you that's what TCU is going to do.
Ohio State still your number one team, but Indiana continues to do their thing, and I don't know if I've ever seen a better catch in sports, period, than what we saw in that Indiana game.
Cooper, Scotty,
yeah.
The presence of mind to keep the right foot up, right, and drag the left toe. Come on, bro. I mean, that was beyond impressive. But going back to the CFP, I don't expect a big change in 1, 2, 3, or 4. And even if they do flip flop, whether it's A&M, who I had this week, in Indiana, or even Alabama over A&M. Think about this: Texas A&M and their 9 wins. Do you know how many head coaches have been fired of their opponents in their 9 wins?
Yeah, pretty common these days.
4 of their 9 dubs don't have the head coach that they started the season with. Say that out loud, man. What is going on in college football right now?
Yeah,
I mean, we're just firing guys to fire guys, it feels like. And patience is no longer a virtue, as the great John Wooden once said. So, but going back to it, I don't expect any change at the top. But, man, this is one where, I mean, look at A&M. I mean, Auburn, Hugh Freeze, fired. Right? I mean, going down the list of A&M opponents where their head coach, Arkansas, Sam Pittman, fired. I mean, it's crazy. But so a lot of people aren't, I don't think, giving Texas A&M the credit that they deserve because Mike Elko's boys, they'll get after you also. And that's a heck of a football team. But they're defensive-led, not offensive. And that's probably why most of America isn't talking about them because they're not lighting up the scoreboard. And we all know offense, leads, and defense, well, they'll just make you bleed. And I'll ride with that side of the football any day of the week and twice on a Saturday.
Ian, one team that could play spoiler here in the state of Utah is Cincinnati. I head out to Cincinnati in a couple of weeks to call that game. And Utah needs Cincinnati to lose another one. So how good are they? How tough of an out are they going to be? Just give me your thoughts on them because for this state to get where they want to go, both Utah and BYU have to see Cincinnati lose.
Yep, and then so you're throwing every bit of mojo you possibly can over there towards Skyline Chili. And by the way, hands go three-way. Okay, that's the way to go with Skyline Chili in Cincinnati.
Every time, deep with the cheese.
Yes, that's my guy right there, man. Let's just get a 3-point stance and fire off and get filthy fat. Since he's good, and this whole thing was started by Luke Fickell years ago, which that's another surprise that Wisconsin said, you know what, we're not punting on Luke Fickell. We talked about this last week, and I thought he was cooked as Christmas dinner or Thanksgiving for that matter. I'm skipping a holiday. Never disrespect the turkey.
No.
But I like the patience that Wisconsin is showing, but Cincinnati, that whole thing started with Fickell, and man, they're a disciplined football team. They really are, and going there is not going to be easy. But one thing when it comes to Big 12 teams is weather, but it doesn't matter for you all because guess what? You're used to that weather. It's kind of like where Oregon and Iowa, where I was last week, everyone was talking about, well, this is typical Iowa football. Well, what the hell do you think's going on in Eugene, Oregon in November? Yeah. And it's freaking sunshine and daffodils. So, that's one of the biggest advantages that Cincinnati has, and you ain't got to worry about it. So I like their chances.
Hey, we missed you a couple weeks ago because you had to take care of some business with the procedure.
Rooter, that's the name.
Guess what? I'm an hour and a half away from the same thing.
No.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He is. He's leaving here in a few minutes.
An hour and a half from
right now
procedure or hour
from
and
entry.
A half from starting that awful drip?
No, from the procedure. Drip? I'm already knee deep in the drink, man.
How the hell are you working right now?
Well, let's just say there's been a few times Hans has had to bring us out of break. Let's just say that.
We also have the plastic sheets on the chair.
Yes.
Folks, when I say, and if you've never had a colonoscopy, and this is my first one 3 weeks ago, when I say handrails and a seatbelt, and you have that red button that the president might hit right in global thermonuclear war,
yeah,
you're hitting that sucker about every 45 minutes. So, Scotty, I don't know how you're doing a radio show. While every now and then it just hits you, folks.
Oh yeah,
Hang on, hold up, gotta go.
Like that old Garth Brooks song, "The Thunder Rolls," and you just the lightning strikes, and you just get the
Hey, Ian, our guy over here is looking like that trimmer that ate the dynamite. If you watch the movie Trimmers.
So wrong. I mean, but look, folks, one, get checked. It's so worth it for peace of mind.
I don't know about that right now.
Cancer-free.
Yeah.
It is, but once you're done, it's the best nap ever. Like, Scotty, have you ever had one?
No, this is number one, man.
Okay,
I mean,
so
well,
when the anesthesiologist tells you, all right, count back from 10, I promise you, I'll give you all the money in my bank account, which ain't a lot, but I'll give it to you if you make it to number 7, because you ain't going to. Right. You got no chance.
Well,
the next thing you know, when you're laying down, you're on your left side, and the nurse is like, "All right, just relax. Here we go." And then 10, 9, goodbye.
Nice.
You're gone.
I'm looking
you're
forward
gone,
to that.
and you wake up and you're like, "Oh!" And the doc's coming to give you your eval. So there you go.
Nice. Ian, you're the best, man. Appreciate it.
I cannot believe that you are actually on the air.
Don't make him laugh, Ian. Don't make him laugh.
No, I want to.
It's all about the content, right?
Me naked right now. Go.
Oh, jeez. Now he's got it coming out both ends.
Oh, man.
I'll see you, boys.
See you, man.
Ian.
Oh, the great Ian Fitzsimmons, ESPN, right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.